Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny Whitener. I'm CEO of Bridge Innovate, and we are thrilled to welcome everyone to our Inspire series, a series of webinars identifying great inspirational leaders in and around our community to share their stories. Today, we're excited to have Josh Davis, StoryBrand Certified Guide, join us to share his perspective on using empathy and story to grow your business. If you're new to Bridge Innovate, just a quick introduction. We are a global network of business strategists, consultants, and designers, and we team up with you and your teams to spark distinctive design, courageous leadership, and agile change. Our goal for this Inspire series is to share very valuable insights and lessons from others, so that might influence the great work that you're doing in the field. I'm going to thank you for engaging in the poll and turn it over to Josh Davis. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jenny. Hey, everyone. Excited to speak to you today about storytelling in your marketing and using empathy to tell your story. If you'll notice on the slide right there, there's a certification stamp that says StoryBrand Certified. The agency that I run, 8Bend Marketing, has recently gone through the StoryBrand certification training so that all of the contractors and employees for our organization have been through this training process. Many of you may be familiar with Donald Miller, who wrote a book called Building a Story Brand that was released several years ago. And over the last few years, the framework that he introduced to help companies tell a better story has really exploded. And so we've gone all in on that process and use it to just craft fantastic stories that highlight the great things that our customers do in their businesses. And so today, what I plan to talk about is a little bit of an understanding of empathy versus sympathy and what that has to do with story. And then I'll introduce you to the StoryBrand methodology of how to write a company story. It's just a very practical framework that you can use. And then we'll finish off. I'll show some examples of before and after companies using the StoryBrand methodology, and then we can close it off with some Q&A to answer some of your questions about it. And so if you see on the screen here, the StoryBrand methodology really breaks down 7 key elements of a story that companies need to use to engage with their customers. And I'm not going to go into detail on all of these things today, but I'm really going to focus on the empathy side of how to connect with your customers. A lot of people confuse empathy and sympathy, and sympathy is feeling sorrow or pity for someone else's unfortunate state. Whereas empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And so empathy really means that you're able to understand what it's like to be in that position. If we all think about the recent tragedy that happened here in Chattanooga with the tornado, many of us are able to sympathize with those people who may have lost their homes or been impacted in that way. But I think very few of us can be truly empathetic. We just don't know what it's like to lose our entire home in a natural disaster. Most people have not been through that scenario. So while you can be sympathetic towards those people and feel sorrowful for the situation that they've experienced, you know, that's just one of those things where it's really very few people would be able to extend true empathy. But in business, empathy is really how you express the human side of your company. Empathy is how you connect with people. people really don't want to be sold to these days. They really want to feel a human to human connection with and you see it in the way people choose the products and service that they spend money on, that they produce. You can even see it in consumer packaged goods products now, whereas before many consumer packaged products just focused on flavors and health benefits and things like that. Now companies are telling social impact stories, appealing to people who care about the environment or people who care about the conditions that the workers of that company are exposed to day to day. Companies all the time now are finding more and more ways to be human, but the best way to connect with your customers, with your target audience on a human level, is to be empathetic, to truly understand what they go through every day and understand how the product or service you provide can help them get past their problems that they're dealing with. I'll give you an example really quick of a marketing consultation that I was doing this week. If you guys are on the call, I'm not picking on you. I'm not being critical of you. These gentlemen may be on the call today, but I just wanted to share the story. I was talking to gentlemen who run an executive coaching group, and we were talking about their business, and they just were so human and humble and empathetic and talking about the way they approach their business. And, they were asking about redesigning their website. And so I pulled up their website, and the language that was used on their website was like someone was writing for an academic journal. There were really complicated words and just heavy language, and it just came off very academic. And that was a huge disconnect from what it was like to talk to these two guys on the web conference that we were on. So, their perspective was that they had always won business through referrals, direct referrals. And when I pulled up the page on their website that showed the companies that they worked with, I was blown away. These guys are working with probably half of the top 100 healthcare agencies in the United States, helping coach their executive teams. And to see the work that they had done and then look at their website and see the disconnect just made me, that just got my engine cranking, because I was just like, guys, let's fix this. Let's go to work. We can really infuse your website full of just empathetic human language that connects you to your prospect. And I guarantee you, if we go through that process, their feedback to me was that they had never won any business because of their website before. And I was just blown away. I'm like, okay, well, it's time for that to change then. So let me give you an example of a website that a company that went through the StoryBrand process, that learned how to write a really compelling story and use empathy in their marketing. This company, Equify, if you look at their homepage on their website, this is how it used to look. It's just a big jumbled mess of words. It's hard to focus on things. If you look at the main menu across the top, financial services, auction services, insurance services, asset services, real estate services. Like, what do these guys not do? They do everything. I guess I can just contact them for anything I need. But it's not really clear how they help in any of these areas from their homepage. So these guys went through the StoryBrand process and wrote a more compelling story. And this is what they ended up with on their new website. This immediately engages you because you're looking at a man carrying two small, holding a hand of one child carrying the other, some heavy industrial equipment in the background, 5 ways we make your company stronger. Now they're talking about how they can solve problems. And if you look at the bullet points down there, specialized commercial lending, commercial real estate lending, commercial insurance services, these are way more clear about what they actually do for you. I mean, it's almost shocking to see the difference of what they went through before and after the StoryBrand process. And so when you get into the StoryBrand methodology, one of the first things you'll learn is that you should be positioning yourself, your company, as the guide in the story, not the hero of the story. Your customers really need to be the hero of the story. And your goal is to help your hero customers reach their potential. They're experiencing problems that hopefully your company can help solve. And so you really need to communicate to your customers, starting with empathy, understanding what their challenges are, and then communicating to them exactly what those problems are and how you can help. And your goal is to be the guide, not the hero. And so this wouldn't be an appropriate discussion if I didn't talk about myself transparently. So in the past, in addition to running a marketing agency, I'm on the executive team at InfoSystems, which is an IT company. And we've been around for 25 years. And I can tell you that this company, just like those 2 executive coach guys that I referred to, from the top down in this company, you'll find a culture that is just built on humility and understanding, and just so focused on culture and being a fantastic workplace and working for our customers. But all the marketing agencies we had worked with over the years had convinced our team that we really needed to be boastful in our marketing. So I'm going to show you some examples here of where we missed the mark. If you see at the top there, this is one of the web pages on our website, world-class cloud and IT services provider. And then if you see in that, we had a video on this page in the red box there, even the title of the video, a higher standard in IT services. What does that have to do with our customers? How is that going to help them out? Really nothing. It has nothing to do with our customers. It's all about us. So when we went through the StoryBrand process, we really reframed all of our own marketing language. And so now that page on our website looks like this: keep your technology and employees working. Because we understand that one of the biggest issues for our customers, for IT customers, is that when technology stops working, it causes disruptions to their business. So the problem we're going to help them overcome is that their technology doesn't stop working. So if their technology doesn't stop working, their employees don't stop working, and their business does not get disruptive. And if you look at that, we call it a value stack. The 3 little areas on the bottom of the screen there: lead with confidence, nail your IT projects, boost your IT performance. We're talking in terms of them now, how we can help them out. Here's another example. This is a real estate agent that we've been working with, and this was the website he used previously. And so when you land on the homepage of his website, is this really connecting with you in any meaningful way? I've really had to, we've worked with Ryan here on thinking less like a realtor because realtors automatically think that people just want to see houses. And so you can go to pretty much any realtor website, and the first thing you're going to see is searching for listings. But let's be honest, people use Zillow now. They're not using a realtor website to search for listings. They're using some kind of third-party app. So we redid his website with empathy and his customers' problems in mind. And this is what it looks like today. You deserve to feel confident when you buy or sell a home. And that message came because he understands that the buying and selling process for people, especially people who haven't gone through it before, is overwhelming. You don't know anything about it. You don't feel confident. You feel like you could lose your mind because of all of the different things that are being thrown at you. It's an extremely frustrating experience. And so what he's communicating to his home buyers and sellers now is that I'm going to help you feel confident in this process because I'll share with you all of the information you need to do it the right way and remove that stress. Just such a stark contrast from before to after. So as I said, the StoryBrand methodology really is founded on the idea that you need to be known for solving a problem. If you're writing a tagline for your company, or if you're writing sales scripts that your salespeople are going to use, or presentations that they're going to use to present your projects or your products and services to people, if your typical sales presentation is talking about your company's history, that you've been in business for 75 years, that your grandfather founded this company and he was an immigrant from whatever country, and all, all of that language about your company is really just going to be lost. People don't care. I mean, it's sort of hard to say, but people don't care about that type of stuff. What they want to know is, how can you help me? I'm struggling with something. I have challenges. I have needs, and I want to know how you can help me meet those needs or overcome those challenges. You have to communicate quickly and clearly how you can solve problems for your customers. Let me show you some examples, and this is sort of a fictional example. I chose EPB not to pick on EPB, so if any of you on here are from EPB, I'm not picking on you. I'm just using this as an example. When you drive into Chattanooga, you'll see this billboard, if it's still there: home of the world's fastest internet, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I know this is kind of like a community branding building initiative, but honestly, should EPB really be selling their product that it's the fastest internet? I mean, if you have Comcast cable or Charter or one of these other internet service providers, I think pretty much any internet service provider can offer high-speed internet these days. That's not really a problem for us. So to me, that sales message kind of misses the mark. And here's another one from EPB. Fiber optics isn't cable, it's the future. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean. How is that supposed to help me understand their product and how it can help me out? To me, that totally misses the mark. So think about the situation we're in right now with the coronavirus and all of the work from home stuff. I think this would be a huge opportunity for a company like EPB to have a sales message more like this. Make sure your next sales call doesn't freeze up. Really fast internet, EPB. If I'm a small business person and I'm conducting business via Zoom calls and web conferences right now, and there's glitches and you're having trouble with audio and somebody's screen freezes, and there's a real problem that people are having. So rather than talking about world's fastest internet, you could easily flip that around and solve a very specific problem. Make sure your next sales call doesn't freeze up. Here's one more example. This is a construction company that we've done work with, several of their divisions. When you go to the homepage of this construction company, Harrison Construction, I mean, is there anything on here that connects with you on a human level? If any of the Harrison guys are on the call today, I apologize for using your site as an example as well, but I want to showcase the work we're doing for one of their sister companies. Mid-South Aggregates, an aggregate supplier you can depend on. Here's a problem that materials companies like Harrison Construction and Mid-South Aggregates can help their customers overcome. Contractors and project managers on construction jobs are always having to deal with scheduling problems, quality problems, and dealing with companies that just don't care about their project as a whole. So if you look in that red box right there, again, the value stack section, get your delivery on time, get superior materials, gain a local partner. This company is clearly communicating how they can help their customers overcome their greatest problems. So let me run through quickly. Again, I'll pick on my own company, InfoSystems. I want to share one campaign that we did that just completely fell flat. We launched a new cloud service that we had invested millions of dollars in building out this data center technology. We put up billboards around Chattanooga. You might have seen these. World-class cloud, live support, guaranteed production-ready cloud. Does that mean anything to any of you? Production-ready cloud? I mean, you probably don't even know what that means. And again, here's that web page that was on our site, world-class cloud and IT services provider. That doesn't say anything about the challenges we were helping people overcome. And I'll skip this video for now for time constraints because I want to show you another one in just a moment. But let me show you a campaign that we recently did that really connected using the StoryBrand methodology. This campaign was about our cybersecurity services. So rather than boasting about how good our services were and how much money we had spent building out this program, we instead decided we were going to offer as many free cybersecurity assessments for local companies as we could, because we felt like local business leaders, if we were being empathetic, we realized that local business leaders had no clue how secure their company was against cyber attacks. So we put up billboards that said, book a free cybersecurity assessment. Here's one, or don't, you've been hacked. That's something that everyone can relate to, is the fear of getting that error message on their screen. This is what it looks like today. We help strong leaders protect their business against cyber threats. How secure is your company? Way more empathetic. And then the value stack, we're again talking to them about leading with confidence, nailing your IT projects and boosting your performance. If you go to book an assessment, this is the landing page you land on to request your assessment. Way more human than that other page with the video that had all of the, graphics and B-roll footage on it. If you play this video, it's just a direct conversation about how we understand that cybersecurity is such a big problem and how we can come in and give you information that will help you protect your company, and we're not asking anything in return. This campaign killed it. And I will play a little bit of this video just so you can get an example of the copywriting strategy that we used to tell this story.
I'm Josh Davis, VP of Marketing at InfoSystems. If you're interested in booking a cybersecurity assessment, you may want some information about what to expect. As a strong business leader, you know how important it is to take the steps to protect your company. Your employees and customers are looking to you to make the right decisions. But without the right information, you're paralyzed. At InfoSystems, we understand how difficult and frustrating it can be to deal with challenging technology issues, especially.
Okay, I'll just pause it there. If you noticed, the intro stated, we know that you're a strong business leader. That's an aspirational identity. So what we did was introduce an aspirational identity. Everybody wants to be a strong business leader for their company. So we're connecting to what they aspire to be, a strong leader. And then we're filling in the gaps of this story of using empathy, we understand what it's like to deal with frustration around these complicated technology issues. This is just such a human focused, empathetic script that connected so much better. So let me tell you the results of that cloud campaign that I showed you with the billboards that talked about how great our cloud technology was. We won 0 new customers off of that campaign. That's why it fell flat. The cybersecurity campaign that we ran, we actually completed 40 free cybersecurity assessments for local businesses all around East Tennessee. Out of those 40, and like I said, we didn't ask for anything in return. We were just doing it to help. But out of those 40, several did sign to do business with us to help fix the issues that we had uncovered. But how about this? 2 of those 40 that went through the process of a cybersecurity assessment actually got hacked within months of doing their assessment. These are companies that chose not to fix their problems. They actually ended up getting hacked. And guess who they're doing business with today? Obviously, InfoSystems, because we are the ones that had reached out and extended so much value to them up front. So the last thing that I'll lead you with is, Bridge Innovate is focused on design thinking and a lot of things that, Jenny is just so fantastic and her team. I want to leave you with the thought of, if your motivation for building out your products and services is just to be able to sell more, to outdo your competition, to have better features, faster speeds, more flavors, whatever it is, just so you can sell more product, you're going to have a hard time connecting to empathy and understanding your customers. But if your motivation for building your products and services is to understand the challenges that your customers or that the certain people go through, and to design products and services that are easy to use and helpful and solve those problems, this is going to be a much easier process for you. So let me leave you with this, which if you didn't see this really good example of empathy from a recent Super Bowl commercial, here you go, but be ready for some tears.
Hey Google, show me photos of me and Loretta. Remember, Loretta hated my mustache. Remember, Loretta loved going to Alaska and scallops. Show me photos from our anniversary. Remember, she always snorted when she laughed. Play our favorite movie. Remember, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Come on, boy.
How's that for an example of empathy? Just an awesome job by Google there, when that's a company you normally think of as promoting all of the features and stuff about their product. So here, let me extend a challenge to everyone real quick. You can go to the website mystorybrand.com and create a free account on there and use the StoryBrand 7-part framework to write your story. If you do that, share it with me. If you see the little yellow highlighted circle, you'll see that icon at the top of the screen when you write your brand script on mystorybrand.com. Use that and send me your brand script, Josh at 8bend.marketing, and I will do a free review session with you for 30 minutes to review the story that you wrote on for your brand. So just a challenge for everyone to actually put this to practice. I think you'll discover it's not as easy as it seems, but you're never going to figure it out until you start trying. So I'm going to challenge everyone to go ahead and take that step. And so with that, I'll hand it back over to you, Jenny. We're probably up against the clock, but maybe we can hang out for people who want to spend time with Q&A.
Yeah, so first I want to just say thanks to Josh Davis. Amazing presentation. Just outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And I will say that we'll be wrapping up today's session. If any of you would like to stay on to ask a few questions, feel free to post them in the chat. Josh has indicated he can stay for a few minutes if you want to. And if you'd like to join us for another Inspire webinar series, we have another one coming up next week on virtual design sprints being led by Colin Young. So check out bridgeinnovate.com studio under our studio tab for our events coming up. But it was an incredible, incredible presentation. Any questions for Josh as we wrap up today's session? You can post them in the chat. I'm just saying, fabulous job, good information, yoo-hoo. So big shout outs, thank you. All right, with that, I'll say thanks, Josh, and they know how to reach you, and thanks so much for being a partner of ours, and congratulations on all the great work you're doing around the region and in the U.S. Thank you. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Jenny.
Have a great weekend.